Here we go. We're ready, rock and roll. What's going on? It's your boy Kevin Yee. Basically doing a live stream a little bit late. Reason why was because I was actually uploading a video. Something that I've. It's been a while since I've actually edited content that I just really love, and so I actually recently did a vlog that I actually shot about 2 years ago. Just to give you some context too, it was actually at my dad's actually at my dad's memorial service or my dad's funeral, and it's not like a normal don't get it twisted. I didn't like vlog an open casket or anything like that. We did an Irish funeral, and it just got me thinking a lot about during that time when I lost my father, and how it was really traumatizing for me as well. I don't really talk about it too much, not here as much, but thinking back, I was just remembering how chaotic it was. And for those that are tuning in, thanks for the immediate likes. Really appreciate it. We got Brad Smith in the house. What is up, my G? Sup G, he says. But anyways, the reason why I'm shooting this video is because I wanted to kind of share how I've been actually celebrating Father's Day, and obviously can't celebrate with my father because he's no longer here. But I wanted to leave something very impactful for people and stuff too. Um, and this is kind of like what I've been working on the back end, because I believe everybody will need to go through something like this as well, right? So what I have here is actually checklist. This was actually really inspired by Ice One Key Frank. If you don't know, show love to his channel. Look him up. His mom is actually going through dementia right now, and it's really tough. And what I just got started thinking about, like, all the things that happened to me back when about 2 years ago. I'm actually having to redo this again, just because I got to set up another state, and chances are, whether it's your estate or somebody else's estate, you'll probably need this. By the way, this is not complete, but I've been really working hard on this. There's a lot of great things. By the way, a lot of great references to, like, I reference at the bottom. But my dream, or what I've been working on, is just essentially a end of life checklist, where it's like, when you lose a parent. And I know this is like Father's Day, and I'll get back to my original point, but I know, like, um for anyone who has been in a really traumatic situation like this, like where you're all of a sudden you lose your parent, you're scrambling to locate the assets. If you're not lucky enough to have the spouse still alive, makes everything a lot more crazier. I actually had to deal with, like, things like probate and all that, and that's not easy, guys. And so that's why I wanted to kind of create step-by-step checklist as well, so people can, and throw my own 2 cents in it as well. I got a lot of great stuff from Reddit and all that, and where you can have drop downs and all that. So if you want to check it out, you can go to Refugee Hustle / end dash of life. It's in the description anyways. You can check out the rough draft and make a copy of it. But just FYI, this isn't complete. It's probably about 50% complete as well. And so I'm just trying to kind of make it all inclusive. Like, how do you locate assets? Where are they? And stuff like that. Which leads me to the more important point. Like, I'm showing you all guys this as well, but I think the more important point is, having this conversation with your parents. And I know it's not the easiest thing. It's not like a dinner conversation. You're just like, hey, mom, dad, let's talk about when you're gone. That's not really the easiest conversation to have. But the number one thing, I just shot a vlog on this too, giving some commentary about my dad's service and stuff. The number one thing that really was on the top of my mind as well was that if I have one regret, it's probably just, like, not speaking to my dad a lot sooner and really repairing our relationship sooner. For so many years I just held so much against him and stuff like that. And I mean, I was justified. I believe I was fully justified in holding a grudge, but honestly, at the end of the day, once they're gone, you don't get that time. And I'm lucky to just have, like, that 6 months run time where we had a great relationship. We had a great father son thing as well. But I know some people who never really get the opportunity, so I just want to kind of share that as well too, right? Because when you're like me and you don't have you don't have a father to celebrate with on Father's Day, that's, I mean, you can never get those moments back. But like for me, I was working on this all night. I was working on it for most of the day, and it's important to me because I think for myself, like, it's something that my dad would probably be very proud of me if I were to kind of create something of value to people and just help people through that process as well. Um, and so yeah, I'm just using all these great tools that I've been learning and just like trying to keep a tracker as well so people can just identify what they need to work on the next thing as well. So that's what I've been working on. Let's look at the comments really quick. If you want to smash that like button, boost the algorithm, help some people with end of life planning, let me know. Uh, Make sure to do that. And combat the dislike bots hitting my channel at the moment. It's a real pain in the ass. I'm actually really thinking about disabling likes and comment not likes and comments, likes and dislikes on my channel, because I just don't want to affect anything when I'm going out for sponsors or anything like that in the future. So yeah. Tim Kirk says, "Hey Kevin, what's going on, Tim? I had some spare time, looked at JK News. Man, Julia and Brandon left. They closed down. JK Party sucks. I guess nothing is forever. Shows us things change and evolve." Yeah, what's interesting was that I actually met Brandon and Julia before. It was probably like early in the year when I came back from LA, and we were at a hookah spot with Joe, Julia, Michael, Brandon and stuff, and we were just talking about like the channel and how things change. Um, it's just a YouTube platform, man. It's not as it's really difficult. Like, organic content is really tough these days. And really what is favored in the algorithm, even though that I hate producing this I won't say I hate it, but doing too much of this content really burns me out because it's like less creativity. And that's why you guys been seeing less vlogs. And that's why I actually had to meet up with like a brand consultant as well, because um I was just feeling so lost. I was just pleasing the algo all the time, and it's just like really creating that content really was not fun for me at all. And so, with JK Party and stuff like that, it just wasn't performing as well. And especially if you're a channel that, I mean, I don't keep in mind, I don't know all the business behind like JK Party and all that. I mean, Joe, I'm friends with a lot of them, but obviously I don't ask about like all the details of their business. But um, from what I see, just as an external factor, the only things that I see, the monetization streams on that YouTube channel is AdSense for the most part, and maybe some brand deals too. Like, brand deals are probably huge, but let's exclude brand deals for a second. If you assume that most of it comes from AdSense, that's a pretty rough business, and any algorithm changes really can kill a channel overnight. So, and then with a lot of overhead, I mean, it's not, dude, they spent a lot of money renting that place and all that, and having a set that's not cheap. And think about how many people are on JK Party too. So there's a lot of operation costs too to be aware of as well. So there's that. YouTube algorithm seems to punish long visits. Not cool. Well, I mean, that's the algorithm. You can't do anything about it. I mean, until another competitor of YouTube really pops up for long-term content, nothing's gonna change. I mean, YouTube is gonna do what they're gonna do. They have, I might not agree with a lot of their decisions, but at the end of the day, they are a private company. They just have so much control over everything as well. So they're free to do what they want to do. But I'm telling you, if there's an alternative that really pops up, people are just gonna leave one day. So yeah. And it's kind of like one of the reasons, like I said, it's one of the reasons why I stopped doing vlogs and all that sort of stuff too, because it wasn't, not to say I wasn't ranking, but honestly, during that time when I was doing vlogs, I was so happy. My life is a lot more boring now compared to where it used to be back in the day. Really appreciate the like, by the way. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, but you know, I was on a 4 hour initial session with a brand strategist the other day, and we are really going back into when I felt like super happy creating on this channel, and it was creating more personal content, which I loved. It wasn't, I mean, I do like the occasional education one, but it's kind of like to a point. It's just really over manufactured. It's not really me, and I need a balance of both content to outreach and to kind of all that as well. But you know, um, I think the transition is like starting to talk about things I really care about, like for example, end of life planning at this moment because I'm having a plan. For example, like my mom's at the moment. I'm gonna plan probably my uncle, like help plan my uncles at some point in time, and I mean it sucks, but it's a part of growing up. I gotta plan my own too. It's a lot of work, and people don't see. I mean, like, dude, literally, if you take a look at all these steps, this is a This is a really, hold on, cancel. This is a really high level overview of everything that you need to do. You need to have a conversation, get all the, get your letter of instruction, healthcare proxy, uh, power of attorney, or like plan for the funeral when it actually happens and stuff. So I've really been really diving deep into everything as well, and I have like many things in each thing as well. Like, so it's it's kind of exhausting, but I mean, I think it's worth it because I believe it's really going to change people's lives because no one ever really talks about this. No one sits you down, just like personal finance. Eventually, I want to create a free personal finance course as well. I've been working on my kick-ass investing. That's actually almost done for a second launch. Both the free course and paid course are going to be amazing. They're going to be really great. Or the foundation will be there, and definitely I'm going to spend more time investing into that because thinking about it now, I feel so passionate about investing and how it transformed me and how I look at risk as well. And so I believe everybody should learn how to invest, how to set up a portfolio at some point, right? It's only I wouldn't say the more advanced stuff, but it gets really technical. Not really technical, but it gets kind of complicated. It's not easy. Not too many people know what a 401k is. Not too many people know what a Roth IRA is and stuff like that as well. So there's that. Yeah, look at that one asshole who disliked this video. Oh my god. The bots are here, guys. Holy shit. It's crazy. How has your week been, bro? Week's been pretty good for the most part. A lot better. I feel a lot better after well, business is back up, and then there's also the brand strategist meeting, which really picked up my mood today. I felt so great doing that as well. So yeah. Oh, by the way, mention Tesla stock. Oh, Dr. Lee says, remember, smash that like button. Appreciate you, Dr. Lee. Oh, by the way, mentioned Tesla stock at 780, now close to 1K. Best feeling is to get a stock right for once. Lol. Financial course specific to pharmacists. It wasn't specific to pharmacists. I might create like a few videos and stuff like that, especially for new grads, because during that phase, well, with the decrease in pay now, most pharmacists probably can like qualify for a Roth IRA at this point. But yeah, like it's not going to be specific to pharmacists. I might do a specific like different I don't want to use the marketing term, but essentially a different funnel to kind of like specifically focus on a pharmacy niche too. And it's just very basic, man. It's not, well, I wouldn't say very basic, but it's more systemized. I mean, what's interesting is that I'm actually learning, well, maybe I'll share this in the future too. I've been learning a few things more technical recently. But anyways, really been building out a solid roadmap and all that for investing. Did you guys know that there's over 100, I think I counted almost 102 steps to completely automate your portfolio? It's not, I mean, it sounds daunting, but it's like literally click this, click that. That is considered a step. So man, but when you have it all in front of you, you have a clear roadmap, you know what to do. And as long as you understand the basic concepts, which are easy, I believe that in order to learn anything new, you need to be able to build off existing knowledge, right? You're not taking like, to learn something completely new and not base it off anything, it makes it hard. So I'm a huge fan of analogies and learning off analogies as well. That's why I teach, like, with investing, like, it's just like investing like a taco and stuff like that, where you have to gotta figure out where you want to buy your taco first, and then you gotta figure out how you want to hold your fillings. Same with investing. You got to figure out how you want to hold your investments. And then you got to decide your fillings and just throw which are equivalent to your investments, and you got to pay for everything. That's pretty much investing too. Oh, look, another asshole who disliked this video. Whatever. Dude, I swear, I'm going to probably dislike this. I'm going to probably do away with all the likes and dislikes like as well. So probably think about that. I have doubts, Tim Kirk. Market Smith didn't show favorable metric on Tesla. Their asset was in the negatives to borrow too much equity. I'm not sure. Didn't dig. Honestly, I have no plans of what my death are. I don't even know who I would leave my money to. I know it's pretty paranoid, but part of me doesn't want to give anyone incentive for me to die. Um, yeah, I mean, like, no one really plans end of life planning, to be honest with you, right? It's not, like I said, it's not a popular topic where people talk about, like, oh, I'm going to plan until I'm gone. But honestly, when you start having a family, when you start having physical assets like property, or even things like your car and stuff, like, it is something that, you know, like, especially property, you don't want to go into probate where it's like, essentially, it goes into this held like you basically got to prove that it's going to you as well, right? And it sucks. You can spend a lot of money. You need to hire a state attorney. And everything can get locked up, right? And so, that's what happened with my family. So anything that I can do to help people avoid that, because it was a headache. Think about it like this: you're going through a death, and then you're also thinking about you have to worry about your property and all that sort of stuff too, and locate, like, it's the worst feeling in the world. I'm telling you this, right? It's like purgatory. That's what it feels like. It's obviously it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's very difficult because you're going through a very emotional time, and if you don't prepare ahead of time, then you're not really in a position to make the best decisions sometimes when you're in an emotional state like that. So that's why, like, right now I'm just planning my mom's estate at the moment, documenting every little thing, as well. So, man, it's a lot. It's a lot of stress, and it's like almost a full time job in itself. And then try and run my business too. And we've been. I mean, this week we had a good week, but honestly, it's been really rough these last few weeks for me. So just really been focusing on that. And then, I hired an editor. I'm testing him out. He's gonna be editing like my weekly hustle videos. I'm gonna be focusing more on my personal everyday videos. I might do a cool series where I might do online journaling, maybe on this channel or another channel. I'm gonna wait until I finish my brand session with my with the brand strategist. But yeah, man. What are your opinions of day trading, pros and cons? Actually, I'm learning it pretty soon, or I'm learning it through my friend. He's diving into it, different strategies. I mean, there's a lot of different things. It's definitely not tax friendly, and it's definitely not something if you want to automate. Like, I truly believe in setting up like sustainable systems for the long term, so you don't have to keep on worrying about like don't have to keep on worrying about churning in and out. Like, worry about the consistent what's that called? So you don't have to worry about like monitoring the market. It can be a lot of stress, and if you don't have the right strategy, you don't have the right people, then you can lose a lot of money doing it as well. I mean, that's a risk for any sort of investments as well, right? Like, there's always that inherent risk. You gotta be okay with it. With day trading, it's a lot more, and that's why I'm saying, like, for a lot of people, like, they don't want to do day trading. Like, a lot of people just want to set it and forget it, and that's who I'm targeting right now and who I want to help. I only listen to investing advice from Wall Street Bets. Our Wall Street Bets. I gotta check that subreddit out, by the way. Um, what's your opinion on women and their participation in the stock market? I don't really have an opinion as well. So, yeah. My God. 35 tax on stocks held for less than 12 months and 15 on capital gains. Yeah, long term versus short term capital gains. Well, and Dr. Lee, it really depends because if it's held for less than 12 months, you're taxed at your ordinary rate. So it's whatever your tax bracket is, just to be a little more clear. Like, it could be true in your tax bracket that you're getting taxed 35%. But yeah, that's that long term capital gain special is really great. But here's the thing. I was actually talking to my friend about it too, and it's like if you're paying taxes, that's a great problem to have. Uh, that's not a bad problem to have. That's a really great problem to have actually. Because it means that you're making money as well. So if you want to decrease your tax liability, that's a good thing, right? Kevin, when you get a chance after your stream, check out Zoom and DocuSign stocks. They're all time highs, but I think that's the future for most businesses. I mean, like for DocuSign and Zoom, I mean, for all my clients, we typically use that all the time. But I'll take a look at them. More emotion involved with day trading. It's pretty interesting, man. So I was actually talking to my friend, and he was saying that one of his investment banking friends actually his strategy is all based off of emotion and stuff like based off. It's like a zero sum game where they basically profit off newbies who are really scared, like who are really scared about the dips and volatility of the market as well. It was really interesting. So I want to learn more about it. Trade slowly, and then as you learn, your trading speed will up in time. But definitely trade slowly and get in a focus, in this focused manner. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like any sort of business model. Honestly, like you definitely want to develop proof of concept first before scaling and really diving deep into everything as well. So, that's important. Rather than monitoring like 10 billion tickers, you probably just want to monitor one. Just take a look at it. Just observe the market first. Like, there's no real rush. I mean, that's why I focus on concepts like mastery, because they're really important. So there's that. Um, I hope you feel better soon. You don't feel like yourself tonight. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been kind of off these past like few days or weeks, honestly. Um, People saying I've been pretty low energy. I mean, in general, I'm pretty high energy, but I've just been really focused as well, too, on a lot of different things and just going through a lot of stuff, man. I'll tell you guys like on the back end when everything's finished. It's nothing like legal or anything like that, by the way, but it's definitely like really tough. And it's just like, man, it's just like a lot of small things that are kind of building up on my end that just got to work on and just get shit done. But that's growing up, guys. I mean, sometimes life hands you some shit hands. But keep in mind, I'm always super grateful in my life, man. I'm grateful to have this life that I have. I'm grateful to be still breathing. I'm grateful to have all this freedom and still maintain and not. Dude, it's been 2 years since I've been in pharmacy. I'm still not dead. That's crazy, right? So, um, I always try to stay grateful, man. But also, like, just because you're grateful too doesn't mean that you don't have hard times too. So yeah, definitely. Dislike bots aren't freaking helping. Holy shit, man. Dude, it's always like it's so crazy. I look at all my views or my likes and stuff too. And likes, keep in mind, likes and dislikes don't matter for the YouTube algorithm as well. It's only like watch time and all that. But dude, this artificial traffic is really not killing my channel, but definitely ruins the perception of the actual thing because I look at all the comments too. So interesting. Um, how many deductions can I have for my small business? Is it unlimited? I would tell you go talk to your tax specialist. I mean, honestly, you can only deduct so much. You can't deduct more than you make, and I think like, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can write off, but obviously talk to your tax attorney as well, right? But with a small business, depending what area you're in, you can write off quite a bit, but you just gotta be sure to keep a good paper trail. One of the things that I really like is QuickBooks a lot. I use that self-employed. I think, did I shoot my video? I had a video queued up for it. I don't think I ever released it. I gotta start releasing some of these older videos and stuff that I have queued up and start shooting more. But I'm just trying to keep all my content super basic now. Like, I just don't want to overcomplicate things, to be honest with you. I'm just getting to that point where I'm just like really not tired, but I want to feel like that feeling that I did where I was so lit up by my content or lit up like sharing stuff like it's I know I have a problem when everything feels like a chore in life. So, but even these days, like I mean, I'm just really grateful to be working out again too and stuff like that. I went to jujitsu. I went to power lift too and all that, and I've been going hiking. Um, it feels really good to be back, man. And I got a massage. It felt really great, and so grateful for that. But I might need to go back home for certain things, man. So there's that. Um, I would rather eat high calories and have 7 out of 10 body than eat low calories and have 10 out of 10 body. Do you agree? Your thoughts? Depends. I mean, it really depends your goals, right? If you're like really competition and stuff like that, of course you gotta be a lot more strict. But for someone like myself, I'm not ever planning on competing. I'm 32 years old. I just want to be healthy, man. That's the only thing I really have, and I just want to be able to stay mentally fit too, right? So, I mean, I think it's important to control your calories and stuff. I've been experimenting with low calories for a lot. Like I've been at 1800, especially during quarantine, but I think it's been really slowing down my metabolism. So I've been boosting it up to my maintenance at 2400. So that's it, and I feel a lot better as well. So probably going to keep it around 2000. Do a refeed every Saturday. That's how I have it set up right now, and just monitor and keep on going. But honestly, I incorporate like fast too, like 24-hour fast throughout the week. I've been trying to get up to 48 again, but it takes a lot of willpower to do that, and I don't really drink caffeine at this moment too. So still caffeine free, guys. It's pretty freaking crazy. It's been like 2 months, I think, since I've been caffeine free. So there's that. Um, Fly away says that shows that you're not dedicated and have a higher normal than of laziness. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say so. Fly away. It really, like I said, it really depends on the goals. You know, could be. I mean, it could be true too. It could be that you're lazy too. But I mean, I think sometimes like it really just depends what your goals are. So I think like this year, especially not being as active because of the whole the Rona thing. Um, I'm definitely going to make a more of an effort to really dial that in, because definitely like when I did eat a lot more fried things or junk food or anything like that, I definitely noticed a change in my mental state where I'm not as sharp. I blank out on things, right? It's not really great, and I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to crave like healthy foods again, which is a good place to be, where you're like craving like vegetables and stuff. It's really weird. So I've been really focusing on drinking a lot of different type of soups, really focusing on different herbal teas and stuff too, as a diuretic effect. And I quit coffee, which I don't know how long I'm going to quit for, but I don't ever intend to go back anytime soon. And I'm just concentrating on getting enough sleep and just really getting my lifting schedule back. I mean, I'm so much weaker than before. I gained a lot of weight too. It really sucks. Like honestly, like I'm not. And the reason why I know is because I'm about the same weight, and I'm about the same weight, and like I can't lift as much and stuff like that. My cardio is a lot better though, but that's because I've been working on like hill sprints. But my cardio still freaking sucks for the most part. So yeah, missed your coffee talk series. Maybe I'll do some of those coffee talk series, bro. I gotta name it something else. I got fake coffee. I got like chicory root and shit. Like that's what I got, and I miss those days where I just like free float and stuff, and I'm probably gonna incorporate that again, where um I just free flow off the dome and stuff, and that's important. It's not SEO friendly, but that's what I'm talking about. Like when you please try to please the algorithm, right? It's a catch 22. It's like, dude, if you want to grow, then you need to please the algorithm. You need to focus on one thing. But for me, if you guys know anything about me, I'm very holistic in my approach to everything. It's not like it's not I that's why it's so hard for me to niche down per se. So that's why I have to create a different channel and create different channels too for certain things like investing, because that's how I need to grow. Um, I do not agree with I do not agree with this at all. The point is presence and essentialism, in my honest opinion. I agree, Dr. Lee. I'm 24. I learned through that life is really fucking tough. I was super cocky in high school. Thought I knew way more than adults. Laughed my ass off. It really happens, man. Like we're all been there, bro. Like so, don't worry about that. Okay. I just don't give my shit. Laugh my ass off. My bad. Slash fly away. Somebody asked. Somebody asked, do yellows lives matter, dude? I think honestly, in society, we like here's what I think, right? Like obviously every life all lives matter, but we definitely right now we definitely need to focus more on the Black Lives Matter movement because it's getting the most attention. And yeah, let the streets talk. I think there's a lot of changes happening. Um, like this is the beauty about like things like technology and stuff. It's just like these these moments, and it's also really important not to just get sucked up by the media. I one thing I really hate is actually the media right now because it's they create this narrative of doom and gloom, and that's what get clicks and stuff. I mean, you gotta think about it like this: these companies are a lot of marketing and stuff, but how, like, think about it like this: how many peaceful protesters like have they really shot? And there's a lot of people peacefully protesting and stuff like that, not always the rioting and stuff. And so it really diverts attention, and it's just like, wow, what a fucking what a fucking mind fuck for America right now, because you can't trust the media. You can't, like, it's really an overload of everything at the moment. So it's just interesting stuff, man. So let's take a look at one more thing. I gotta open this from my other browser too. Anyways, kind of curious, guys. What are your plans for Father's Day? What are you guys doing as well, right? It's really sad that everyone avoids politics or takes a neutral position just to avoid losing friends and getting backlash. Well, the most important thing is really the tactical empathy. Like it, I think that's the number one thing. Like having empathy, understanding people's different sides. I actually talk about in my weekly hustle this week that I need to edit. But you know, one of the people I really like right now that I'm listening to a lot is Jordan Lucas, and also Dave Chappelle. Like 846, solid stuff, man. Because the reason why I I've been listening to Jordan Lucas, his whole albums and stuff. This is an older song, but I've been listening to "I'm Not a Racist," and I think that kind of sums up what America is going through right now, right? Where like we need to really take a step back and just listen to people's perspectives, right? And understand the context why people are saying something, right? Like just because like someone says all lives matter, does that make them a racist? I don't think so, right? Because on the surface, like if you're coming with the context, like on surface it makes sense, like because all lives do matter, right? But you get when you add the context of like people diverting away from the Black Lives Matter movement, then that's where the real problem like that's where people are like, oh man, you're just an asshole, you're racist and all that. And it's like too many logical jumps as well, right? I That's why I always take the time to really understand where people are coming from, to understand their intent, because you can't just do a blanket statement about whether people are racist or not, right? So it's really important, and I think and Dave Chappelle does a really great job of like emphasizing listening, like in any negotiation tactic. Like take this from the world of sales or the world of negotiation. In order to create a stronger point, you always need to understand where the other party's coming from as well, even though you might not agree with it. Is there shit about the KKK I don't agree with? I don't agree with any of that bullshit, but like I still try to listen to their points to understand where they are, so you can break down their arguments and stuff like that. And that's how real change is made. That's how persuasion works, right? Because but taking an emotional approach of yelling at people and all that, I don't think that's really the way to go. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. You know, I'm not the guru at like movements and stuff. And I really think like honestly, the reason why I don't really talk about it too much on my channel is just because I mean, do you really want to hear from this Asian guy? Probably not about this sort of stuff. Like, let the other people talk about it. Let the other people have the spotlight. Like, I don't need to have an opinion about every single thing, and I think it's more powerful to to focus the voice rather than have all these like 10 million people talking all at once, you know. And so that's why I feel like by referring different people who are really great, who bring up really great points, like Dave Chappelle and Jordan Lucas, right? That does more justice as well. But yeah, so that's just my thing. Um, delusion is enemy. Brad, we're starving for human contact and connection. Sometimes friendliness overrides principle for the moment, for that fleeting moment of togetherness. No, it doesn't. It's pretty pathetic how everyone is a racist now. If you don't support the Black Lives organization, you get called a racist. I don't like. I don't. And here's another thing too. I don't really appreciate like. I'm not a big fan of cancel culture. I think that's very, I mean, un-American to be honest with you. Sure, if you don't want to support something, that's totally fine. But freedom of speech is the first thing. It gives us even the right to just yell things like Black Lives Matter. That the same right should go to every single American in this country too, even if you don't like it. And it's okay. Like the number one thing is like it's okay if people don't agree with your thoughts, right? I don't I don't see the danger in that. What I do see is the danger of potential censorship, and that's, I mean, take it from an Asian man like China, man, huge censorship right over there, the Communist Party and all that. Like it's there's a reason why so many of us, at least Chinese people, man, why we came here. Like we ran from the Cultural Revolution. There's a reason why there's so much um protesting in Hong Kong too that's happening as well. So um it just leads us down a dangerous road, and I think it's more important to argue those points, and that's how you can really convince people as well, not silencing them. I don't believe in cancel culture, but you know, it just seems the norm, right? People have to double. It's like weird because sometimes it's not ill intent, but like people just assume ill intent, and they're just gonna be like, uh, be very presumptuous based off your statements without understanding. Well, wait, tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that. Right? I'd love to kind of hear, right? But people just are just like, you're a racist, man. And it's just like, okay, whatever, you want to judge me. It's like the same argument is of prejudice, right? It's just like, you know, rather than just judging someone based off their like, it's like it's pretty bad to judge someone off the based off their skin, based off their skin color, right? But it's also another, it's pretty bad to judge someone off of just one statement or one thought, essentially, right? And we're doing the same thing, which is really bad. I think people's standard for what makes someone racist is way too low. The word racist gets thrown anyway too easily and too much. It's actually disrespectful to real victims of racism, in my opinion. Well, Brad, to give you some perspective too, it's like a pendulum effect. It's going one way. It was one way way too far to the right side. Now it's going to the left. It's going to swing back and forth. And I agree. I feel like there's not as much listening going on too to really determine as someone. I hate those terms of like terming someone as like a racist and stuff like that. Um, it just, yeah, you're right. It kind of like that term of a Nazi and stuff like that, when people call you a Nazi or anything like that. I mean, that's a pretty serious offense or a serious accusation as well, right? And just because someone might have different views doesn't make that that exact term as well, right? So fly away, I agree. I don't say I'm BLM. I'm automatically a Trump and Nazi slash alt right somehow. It's crazy, man. Uh, Dr. Lee says, Brad Smith says, very interesting. Statistics show that racial bias in police forces at an all-time low and is non-existent. At Dr. Lee, I will vote for Trump in 2020. Joe Biden is not there mentally. Yeah, it's kind of a shit show, man. Like, it's really a shit show between the future president and stuff like that. And keep in mind, I'm not super political, but man, I was listening to Joe Rogan. He's like, dude, we gotta choose between these two. It's gonna be a shit show. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I saw yeah, man, it's just really interesting as well. And what also concerns me too more recently is like seeing these videos of people like of being seeing reporters shot, right, and attacked, or even that like excessive force, and it shows you like, I mean, keep in mind, I don't know how big the police force is, but the police force, like and I don't believe all cops are bad, right, as well, right, but man, they gotta be, if there's a time to be extra cautious, it's now. Like you can't be using like brutal force, like you like that old man being pushed, and other things as well. Wasn't there another person who had their the knee on the neck or something like that as well? It's like some people just don't think, but just like how there's all sorts of different people in the world. I mean, there's going to be unqualified cops, and it's definitely high tensions. I believe training is really the number one thing that is important too. It's like crazy, like that taser thing and shooting someone too. That was pretty crazy. But here's the thing: I don't know what it's like being a cop. I don't know what it's like fearing for my life all the time. But I mean, taking a objective point of view, I see this escalation in force, right? Like from the police, and it's just like, is that really justified? You know, that's a real question. I always hate picking lesser of two evils. It's never a guy. I will definitely vote for this guy. Unfortunately, yeah, I know. Hasn't been like that for a while, guys. Like honestly, I can't remember long time. I really liked like Andrew Yang a lot. Not just because he's Asian, but I liked how he would word things and stuff like that too. Like he was very intelligent. He always seemed to know the answers too. But who knows if he would be a great president? But you know, on the surface, like personality wise, I just resonate with him. But like again, I'm not very political, so I didn't really take a look at that. You know, it'd be really interesting seeing like someone like Jocko run for president. Man, I would love to see that. Just because, I mean, he's just he. I listen to his leadership podcast all the time, and his stuff is hella solid. Um, Censorship is very real. The internet came fast and hard. The world's governments never saw it coming. Now they see what it is, and they will censor it. We had a very small window of free information. Yeah, I mean, censorship is really a huge problem as well, and that's why um I'm always, I mean, I'm in that terms, like in those terms, I'm always super American. I'm always for free speech. I hate that concept. It makes me sick to my gut, you know, as well. And keep in mind, I grew up in a very, I consider myself like a centrist or like independent, right? But I grew up in a very blue state too, so um, you know, it's just really interesting to see how things have shifted over the years as well. Thoughts about the second market crash coming or not? Absolutely, I believe it's gonna come at some point. All my friends have been talking about it as well. So yeah, I believe it's gonna come. Maybe later this year. Who knows though, right? Do you think it's interesting that the market keeps on going up even when the country seems like it's on fire? Yeah, I think it's very interesting, and all my friends are just like, "What the heck is happening to the market, man?" Like, we like, is it? No idea. It's just really interesting though. So yeah. Uh, I got called racist for supporting black conservatives like Candace Owens. I also got called racist by a random person for being bald. It's just out of control. It's lost its meaning. Well, you know, just because someone calls you something doesn't mean that you're actually that, you know, and I think the best thing to say is like, well, help me understand how so, right? I love to kind of hear that. And I think that opens up a discussion where people have to kind of really articulate their thoughts. And it's important to not get so, it's hard, obviously. It's hard not to get emotional about it because someone's accusing you of something. But I mean, just because someone says that you're something doesn't mean that you're actually that way, right? So that's how I feel. I appreciate you saying that you don't know what it's like because we don't until we do. Um, at Brad Smith, I'm glad you're supporting Trump. Just remember your old coffee talks from Joe's house. Seemed like the fun place to live. It was really fun back then. We had lots of fun. I was watching some of the old JK stuff too, as well. I actually, uh, I thought about it because it was Bree's birthday recently, and I just sent her a voice message about that. So it was really good times, man. Like crazy times, like crazy times. I remember this, man. We used to not have like crazy parties, but I remember like one hard summer there was a bunch of people that came to the house. We had so many different characters in the place. I would come home and they were shooting a skit. Like it'd be freaking crazy. We dropped a cake and stuff, and it left a huge stain on the front thing. So funny. And then Joe's fucking gun safe, man, lugging that shit up the stairs, bro. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. And there's video of that too. So a lot of great times, man. And I always remember those times like with great fondness as well. Like very transformational. And it's important. That's why I'm saying, like, man, I was paying double rent at that time because I was paying for my old place and paying for that new place. And it just feels so great to be able to have those memories and stuff like that too. And now that I'm older, it's gonna be a lot more great memories going forward too. So I'm super stoked. Actually, fun fact: I actually bought oh, I bought another mic too to do like more coffee talk type of things. Although I like this mic a lot, the one that I'm currently using right now. Hold on. Although I really like this mic a lot, this one, it keeps me like in one place, and I feel like it definitely changes my speech patterns, and I'm definitely more professional in this sort of thing. I like that casual, like taking the headphones off and just speaking to the camera. It's like really fun for me, as well. Uh, Lemon Doug says, "Yo, how are course sales this week?" I haven't launched. I haven't relaunched Kick-Ass Investing, by the way, so I don't know. I don't think it's up. Like core sales are stagnant essentially. I'm not sure if I closed the cart. I should have closed the cart because I don't want anybody buying quite yet as well. Like it's pretty much done. I'm actually just touching things up on the sales page, doing some of the email campaigns as well. Um yeah. And it's going to be a very honest funnel and stuff. Like I feel so great being able to be on an offer where I can control 100% and just really add so much value to people and just target the right people. I mean, I don't want broke people. Like I don't want broke people coming into my program. I also don't want people who are thinking like get rich quick and shit. Like people have crazy expectations. Like really the core of this is really to build up an asset, an automated asset that will last you for the rest of your life, so that you have the options to do other things like invest in other ways, right? And have a good solid foundation before investing, right? So yeah. Did we forget about Brexit? Dude, I totally forgot about that too. Sutton asked, how's jiu-jitsu going? I love jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is going really well. Getting back in the groove, kind of remembering the moves that I used to go for. Getting in the groove of like trying different things, and I'll shoot some recordings and stuff, but right now we're just trying to keep everything on the low key right now because of the corona and stuff like that. So yeah. But jujitsu is great. I'm going tomorrow. I'm super stoked. By the way, smash that like button if you're listening. Would really appreciate it. Let's boost the algorithm. Small window of freedom from the internet. You should do HTC high ticket closing for Joe's program. Maybe. I mean, really, in terms of like, I love doing sales. I love doing consultative sales. It's so chill, by the way. Like, guys, one day I should just break down my sales, like, pitch, if you want to call it a pitch. I wouldn't even call it a pitch. It's like, hey, yeah, tell me about your goals. Tell me about, like, what are some of your challenges? What is the biggest goal? What is the biggest goal? Like, out of all the goals, which one's the biggest priority for you right now? Where do you want to be? How long have you wanted that goal? What are some of the challenges? What have you tried? How fast do you want to solve this problem? And what are some other things? And that's really essentially and implications if you don't solve it. And really just diving into their financial position and just like laying out all the different offers, like what's that called? conservative, moderate, aggressive, and just really answering any questions from there. And it's a really chill type of thing, right? That's all it is, right? And it's just like I love it because it's like it's counterintuitive of like a pushy salesman and stuff like that. I hate that sort of shit, right? And it's just real, raw, and authentic. So I just love it. But yeah, maybe like I talked to Joe about it before, and essentially about high tickets and stuff like that and all that. So yeah, sometimes I just wish we lived in tribes and all we have to do is go hunt buffalo. Was this Oregon freaking trail, my man? Holy shit. Brad, disagree. We have 4chan, which is the biggest access of information and woke individual on earth in one form. 4chan, I haven't been on that. I went to the 4chan like first 4chan like convention in Boston, I think, back in the day. A lot of interesting characters, but also like I don't go on 4chan as much anymore, but definitely like Reddit has a wealth of information, especially for sub niches and stuff like that. Definitely on YouTube, if you can find those great YouTube channels, sometimes like they have a wealth of information as well. That upgrade though, NTG4. It's a so this is actually not a NTG4. It's a NTG Video Mic Pro. So it's same layout as the NTG and stuff. I love this microphone, by the way. It might be kind of loud. I'll switch it for a second so you guys can hear a difference. Hold on for a second. Let me turn off my AC. Hold on. I think I also might need to change the settings too, and it's like auto. It's fucking up my focus. Hold on for a second. Hey, can you guys hear me now? This is my new mic. My new mic. Blah 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 blah. Right. So I gotta fix the audio on it because it's a little kind of because it's connected to my camera and it's connected to a few other things. So I gotta figure out the camera settings to turn the preamps down as well. So obviously my other camera, my other thing is so much better. Like this, nothing beats the honestly, nothing beats the SM7B. Like it's my favorite. This is my favorite microphone, by the way. But it's hard because if I talk out here, you guys can't hear me. But so I have to always be very close. But when I am close, it's like perfect. It's always like deep, bassy. I use this for all my sales calls too. So it's really great. I always get like really great. Sounds professional. It sounds very bassy. I love it. Uh, Brad says, "What is 4chan?" Oh God, dude, you're in for a trip if you don't know what 4chan is. What are your thoughts on Dave Ramsey? I actually don't. I'm not a huge fan of Dave Ramsey. I think he's good at teaching people getting out of debt, but he's not really great investing wise. I don't agree with a lot of his concepts and stuff like that. He doesn't believe in credit cards. I believe that credit cards can be an asset. He doesn't teach you how to build credit. Unless his philosophies has changed. I mean, I have Dave Ramsey's OG book on my bookcase. I read it. I actually went through it. I used to pay everything with a debit card, but honestly, he's so anti-debt. Like, I mean, debt can be a tool. He doesn't really. And when it comes to like starting a business too, I don't believe in his philosophies. Out of all the people, like all the gurus, I really like Ramit Sethi a lot because he's a more balanced approach, and I hate like I'm not saying I hate Graham Stephan or anything like that, but also like I feel like there's a lot more to life than just penny pinching all the time. It's really focusing on what you essentially want in life and coming up with an income to sustain that lifestyle as well. That's the most important thing about personal finance and all that as well. Super, super important. And I think that is a approach to balance in life to figure out to the extremes, figure out what you really care about and figure out what you don't give a fuck about. Like for me, I don't really care about movies. Like you'll never, like maybe once in a while I'll catch a flick, like a $7 flick, on a special Tuesday or something like that. Maybe once in a blue moon, but you'll never see me consistently going to movies and paying like a lot of money doing that because I don't care about it, right? Also, I mean, another thing too is like, I mean, I'm not really a big foodie type of person. Yeah, I like going out to eat sometimes, but you'll never see me at an expensive restaurant because I don't care about that stuff. Same with cars, I don't. But you know what I do care about? I love equipment. I love like gear. I love camera gear for some reason. I love gadgets. I love books. Right? Those are things that I love. I try not to buy the gadgets anymore because I'm more of a minimalist now. I'm trying to go down that right, or essentialist essentially, like having every single thing has to have a purpose. So I'm actually in the middle of clearing out a lot of these books too. Gonna be selling a lot of them too, so should be pretty exciting as well. Um, let's see. Google it. Go visit the sub things. I heard BJJ is still close to 6 feet rule. Is it different in LA? I think so. It should be different in LA unless we're not supposed to be open. Are you still closing for Dan Lok? No, no. I never closed. By the way, I never closed for Dan Lok ever in my life. I just had an affiliate deal with him, or an affiliate with him, which I personally really loved that program at that time. So I thought it was very valuable, so I promoted it. But then, obviously, all this backlash happened because he was upselling people all this shit, which I bought into too. And I tried it, didn't like it, but I didn't bitch and complain about it. But that's why I shot a video about why I left. And I actually I was in the middle of like before the stream. I was actually in the middle of redoing the audio for that to make it better. I had several complaints about the audio. So I don't know if there's an easy way for me to upload it onto YouTube. I know that they can replace tracks and stuff, but I don't know if there's an easy way to replace like the audio track for the actual video because I fixed it. So whoops, I forgot to use the limiter. My bad. Man, it's so crazy how much people will bitch if you have shitty audio or something like that, man. It's like crazy. Like I don't understand. There's so many bitchers and bitching people and moaning people too. But I appreciate all feedback though. Like I really do. Like especially the positive like feedback who people are like, hey, I love the content, but one thing that you could do better is this. And I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. Let me fix it, And so but like, dude, I see all these like crappy comments like you're gay or like you're a scammer. I'm like, dude, I don't even got a fucking offer. What am I scamming? Like, and probably you don't even have money to even scam, right? Like, how the fuck am I scamming you? Holy shit! Like, it's like ridiculous, right? And it's just like I have to. This is the tough part about YouTube, where you have to deal with like really immature people. This is not how you talk to people and interact with people. So I can't even imagine their real life relationships and shit. So sounds a bit of an echo, yeah. Um, I gotta figure out the mic. Honestly, I might consider returning it or something like that too. It was really simple back in the day. We didn't have careers. We went 8 hours a day. Our full time job was to live our life, hunt, cook, take care of our tribe. Well, yeah, things have changed since then, man. I think credit cards can be dangerous. His views for people are who do not have self control. Most Americans have a horrible issue with debt. Well, here's the thing. I don't think they can't. Absolutely right, fly away. They can absolutely be dangerous, but I mean, if you use it right and use it strategically, you can use it to start up a really great business, right? For example, I mentioned this in this post over here. I'll post it in the comments. Was it Asian? My favorite productivity hacks. I think it's yeah. I gotta look it up, but um, you can essentially what you can do if you really believe. I'm not telling people to do this, guys. Really, I'm not telling you guys to do this. But what you can potentially do in theory is if you have really good credit, you can open up a 0% APR card, use that to fund a business at zero risk, right? But only if you believe and only if you can commit to this business model and you believe that it's going to pay off. You can use that 0% APR card as working capital, use that to fund the business, and then do a 70-30 split where 70% goes back into the business, 30% goes back into paying yourself, and pay off that credit card really slowly at zero risk, right? And even if you really suck, then you can balance transfer it over to another 0% APR card as well. I mean, guys, like it takes a little bit of responsibility to do that, but it essentially mitigates your risk. And I don't think credit's a bad thing. It's just like people who are not responsible, or who do not realize that they're getting killed by freaking interest, man. It takes a level of discipline to do it, So, I mean, Dave Rand, but yeah, I can see people following the pitfall. But truth is, I mean, a lot of people just in America are just not really really um sorry are just not really responsible with their finances. And that's where I, rather than bitch and complain about it, what I like to do is, like, what I want to do is just create different resources where people can learn, as well. Like a bunch of free resources. If I do a personal finance one, most likely it'll be free. I don't see it uh, the point of charging that or anything like that. And things like doing like this end of life guide to end of life planning as well, like end of life planning as well, like then it will help more people. But like, I want to get people in a good position to do things as well, right? So uh any tips on getting into reading? Start reading things that you love. I mean, like, honestly, go to a OG bookstore, look around, and it's like a toy store. Read a few pages. If you like it, pick it up. If you don't pick it up, right? If you're really cheap, stay at the bookstore, start reading, and just use all that free knowledge. But yeah, man, like there's so many different topics. Choose something that really appeals to you. That's why I love bookstores, because it's like that physical aspect of walking in and just almost like you're in a toy store. By the way, smash that like button if you're still with me an hour in. By the way, appreciate it. Do you have gear acquisition syndrome? Absolutely, man. I wish I could show you all the gear I had, but try and minimalize right now. I actually have two GH5s at the moment. I'm about to sell my G85. Pretty sure too. So yeah. Let's see. Too many Mutta keyboard warriors. You're telling me, man. There's a lot of keyboard warriors. It's really annoying these days, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, that's the internet. That's I guess the life that I mean, I didn't intentionally sign up for it, but how I look at it is the cost of doing business. Because, and that's why I like I said, I'm talking to my brand strategist at the moment, and we're just identifying like the people I really like to talk to and people I don't like talking to and all that as well. So yeah, just really identifying that core as well. The more famous you get, the more number of haters you'll have, but remember, you'll have more fans to outweigh that. Really appreciate it, Tungusa. Yeah, it's really hard to remember that too, man. It's it's really hard, and especially when I put a lot of work into the content as well, and when it has a really bad dislike ratio, which is not a good indicator. That's why I'm just like at that point where I'm just like, man, I don't want somebody new going to my channel and just seeing that all these freaking fake dislikes and crap, because it's pretty obvious when you see a huge spike as well, like in your dislike ratio. It's pretty freaking crazy. I sent it to YouTube, but obviously, what can they do? They don't do really anything for you in terms of that, right? So it's just like, what I do. Do I turn off my dislike to like ratio? Should I create a video about that? Why I had to turn it off? Because I was getting hit up with trolls for no reason, right? It's just like, man, it's just like, it's so this is like the toxic world of YouTube sometimes, which is really hard to deal as a person, because guess what? I'm a human too. I'm not like this freaking guru and bullshit like that. Like, I'm a real person, and it's just very discouraging for me to go create more content, right? I love creating content too. I'm a very hard worker in general, but hey, it is the cost of doing business. So that's why I just need a little bit of help right now from like a brand strategist, and she's been amazing. I'm going to post up our session later too, and you guys will really enjoy it. My bad, didn't mean to post the same shit twice. That's all good. Internet trolls have no life, have nothing to do. Says Tim Kirk. It's true. I mean, like, who knows? I mean, I might be like, dude, they've been skewing my views too, because I look at the statistics and it's just like I'm getting these like recommended videos from India and Russia. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I speak English. Why are you guys recommending my videos to those freaking channels, or why am I getting recommended videos from those channels? It's ridiculous, right? And it's just like, man, YouTube guys, I speak English. I'm an English speaking channel. Why am I getting targeted for, like, why are people going on my channel being recommended my videos when it's not even like the same? It's ridiculous, right? And so I look at this and it's just like, that's how I don't, okay, I'll tell you this. I don't know 100% if it's a troll farm attacking me, but I'm pretty like, look at the dislike ratio right now. So it's about what, six ups, two downs, whatever, right? But I guarantee you by tomorrow morning or within the week, it's going to be skewed a lot more dislikes as well, with no additional comments as well. It's crazy, right? And that's what I deal with every single day. So yeah, I was going to create a video on it, but man, I don't know. Um, I'll say this: I think a chief and maid, chef and maid. I read that freaking wrong. Is worth every single penny. Way more time, relaxation, way less stress. Yeah, probably will do that as well. Holy shit, the credit card was a major golden nugget. Yep, check out that article. My favorite productivity tips ever. I have like all of my favorite credit cards and all that as well. But I've done it, right? And it's really great, right? Like shit. That's why like, it's all about context, guys. Like it's credit cards aren't good or bad, right? It's just like how you use them, right? Just like how like certain programs are good or bad. I mean, if it's not related to you, and if it's not related to you of what your goals are, then don't take the program, right? Like it's just so ridiculous sometimes, right? It's just like, I don't know, man. Like it's so ridiculous how people think, and it's just like, oh, it's so like black and white, and people can't learn to think for themselves. And I'm all about independent thinking as well, right? So yeah. Calling it a night, catching next time, broski. Awesome, man. Well, we gotta chat next time, Brian Fung. Would you ever move to another city besides LA? I really like Texas a lot. That place is really nice. My friend lives there. We were chilling out there, eating great barbecue and all that. Have you ever thought about doing a night of stand-up comedy? Yeah, I actually have a few stand-up comedy books because um, comedy is a really great connector with people. And one of my friends said I'm pretty funny. I don't think so. I think these days I'm pretty lame, to be honest with you. Like I can't, I just don't like. I don't know. Definitely not as like ratchet as I used to be. But yeah, man, I would love to learn the art of like stand up. I've been actually learning a lot about how to tell like really compelling stories recently, and I think that's really interesting as well. So yeah. Dave Ramsey said no one wants to become a millionaire. No one became a millionaire by playing the credit card game. Um, I mean, I think no one is. I would disagree with that as well. Like having great credit helps you helps you start up businesses. But I mean, being a millionaire is not that hard. I mean, you can be a millionaire with $60,000, invest into your different retirement accounts. If you have a well balanced portfolio, like you'll get there. It's not that hard, right? But I don't think saving your money in the freaking bank either, in a savings account with 1% interest at, let's say 2% interest, with freaking inflation being anywhere from 2 to 4, is gonna get you a millionaire too, right? I think like where Dave Ramsey is really great. I will give Dave Ramsey this. Dave Ramsey is really great at teaching the people how to do discipline, right? Like at a point in my life, I wasn't very disciplined. Like when I first came across Dave Ramsey's book, and it was really great because it was the baby steps that you need to be able to play a higher level game, right? And you need those fundamentals of discipline, because if you don't stick to it, nothing will work, right? And so that's why I'm saying like it's important. Like Dave Ramsey is great for like if you're really undisciplined, he gives you really clear rules to stick by and get you out of the hole, right? But in terms of growing and making more money, I don't believe you should listen to I don't believe in Dave Ramsey's philosophy for that. It's been like I said, it's been a little while since I've read his stuff, but I remember getting the gist. He's like, cut up all your credit cards, all this sort of stuff, right? I don't believe that. I don't think you should do that, because your credit is going to take a hit, and then it buys you more options, right? I mean, great. Like if you don't use credit cards, great. Guess what? Your credit will go up. Just increase your limits and increase your credit to debt ratio. You'll be good. And then if you ever need it, like to buy a house or anything like that, I don't personally believe in, like, I'm not a particular like house believer and stuff like that, but I'll buy you more options later as well. So yeah. Um I'm a retail pharmacist, and I was thinking about getting a YouTube game. Not sure if worth creating videos on OTC to educate your public, just like pharmacy version of Dr. Mike. There's another person that does it really well too. He's Dr. Abraham, the pharmacist, or something like that. Um, just be careful, man, because corporate really does not like, if you're corporate, they really do not like that, like YouTube as well. They might fire you for misconduct. It happened to me. It happened to my other friend too. So just be very careful. But if you're creating OTC stuff, like I think that'd be great. Give it a shot. There's Adriana, the cosmetic pharmacist. I believe she has a few videos on female type of things as well. So might want to consider it if you want to do it, man. But just want to throw that risk out there. You can go to a conference call with his buddy. He pulls out his black card. You go to a conference with a buddy. He pulls out his black card. Is he cool? Well, yeah. Well, dude, it's crazy. I've known a few people with like black cards and stuff like that, and they're like, it's not all that. So, but I guess like it's kind of a cool clout chaser, man. Have a great week. Thanks for spending time evening with us and streaming. Really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I should probably knock out too. Gotta make sure that I edit some more videos for tonight. Get up early. Got a jiu-jitsu session in the morning, and I gotta book out some. I gotta transfer some money and stuff like that to my different accounts as well. So, anyways, guys, really appreciate y'all. I had a really great time streaming today. For all the fathers, happy Father's Day. Also, make sure to check out my new post on Refugee Hustle. If you guys want to see my end of life care post as well, I'll post it right here. Hold on for a second. It's also in the description as well, so check that out. If you guys have not talked about it or considered end of life before. I'll answer this one last question. I want to start jujitsu, but I don't want to be a new guy. Well, we all start there, man. And as long as you're just like, you preface like, hey, I'm new. Can you not kill me? Like, I'm still learning, but would appreciate like a flow roll, right? And usually people are pretty down as well. So you'll get better, man. We all start there. Like, I'm still a new guy against a black belt. I always make fun of myself. I'm just like, dude, I'm just a white belt, man, even though I'm a blue belt. So yeah, man. It's part of the journey. Anyways, guys, I appreciate all y'all, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace, my people. Bye.